Hi, this is Kim Watson of Ezeetrader. Welcome to a midweek review. I actually got it on time for a change on a Wednesday. Okay, looking at a subject here very briefly, looking at trading through the summer. It's pretty apt because we're just starting the summer holidays and people are away. The markets are changing the dynamics already. And I just thought it would be worthwhile at the outset really setting out the ideas of trading through the summer. Now, sorry, I did do this last year actually, and I thought, well, it's well due another airing. So here we go. Now this slide's all in one go. So what we may get, and this we've seen already, is periods of low volatility with periods of all of a sudden short periods of high volatility. So you may get a very small sort of very long period of hardly anything, then a big sort of movement, and then going back into sort of a tight range again. We've already seen some of this, and it can happen. What we often see, there's less direction, there's less news coming out, and we can see periods of daily swings in opposite directions. So it looks like it's all set one way, suddenly it starts turning the other way, and then it may even run back the other way again, because there's in the bigger picture, markets are really trending in the sideward direction. Often what we're seeing is the best setups. I mean, we looked at this today in the trading period in terms of where we're actually trading. There's often very short opportunity periods. I should really put periods of opportunity often get smaller. Now, of course, they can be any way through the day, but there are obvious periods of daily trading which are generally the best and continue to be so. Today's a great example. I'll show the chart. I'll show you some things that we did on the euro in a short while. But it was a big game of patience today. So it really is a case of getting in the trade quite early, getting the position in, and effectively leaving it, as you'll see later on. We can be news sensitive. We've still got the Greek situation going on, but of course it's been dulled down because there seems to be agreement there of some sorts. So it may not be quite as volatile as it was, but you can just a slightest rumour can actually create something. This morning with the cable, it shot up. Okay, so quite a few of the markets probably moved up at a similar time, so it may be some dollar weakness coming in as well, but it tied up pretty well with a comment coming out from one of the Bank of England Monetary Policy Committee members. So things to be watching for. Now the other things to pay, or how to trade it, take what it gives you. There's times when we're expecting much bigger points than normal. I say normal. We've had a good volatile period, and the important thing is to watch the average true range. This last summer on the euro, it got down to just 40 pips a day. Now, I'm very much hoping that August doesn't have a repeat of that. But it can get low. Already it's dropping down from the 150s plus, and it's already down towards, I think it's the 120s. We looked at it earlier on, so it's already dropping down, and you can just see by the daily bars they're getting smaller. You've got to be patient. The best thing is not to be sitting there watching the charts. It takes a long time, as we discovered today with the euro. It took hours, and you just got to be patient with the market and let it sort itself out. Leave it. In fact, the more you're away from the desk, the more profitable you'll probably be. Take breaks through the break, because just looking at flat markets tends to make you want to trade. And as I already said, select your trading period. So that's a key thing for the summer. Now let's have a look at the chart. In fact, before I look at the absolute chart, I'll just give you an example how choppy and the lack of sort of data coming out. This is just straightforward. We got into a trade earlier on this morning, which seemed to be one of those that took forever. We were in up here somewhere. We ended up waiting. In fact, we took an add-in which didn't pay out so well. We eventually got stopped on that one, so that one failed. But the original trade was in. The stop was up here somewhere initially, and we were looking for a target down here. Now, as you can see, it was 1 o'clock. After 1 o'clock, by the time the price actually, or around about 1 o'clock, it's just it seems even longer. Yeah, 1 o'clock, the 10 past 1. By the time that price was actually hit, so it took for a long time to see the target hit. But during that time, look what happened. I mean, it just chops over there. It looked at this point of view, at this point at 11:25, suddenly it looked like, well, we're not going to get out. We're going to get stopped out again. So it looks in that way, but we just held in there. A lot of the guys walked away. I took a break, and eventually, bang, it come down and hit target. So this is a classic example of what the market might look like. Let's just have a look at cable today, actually. And this is what happened. There was a bit of pre-news at 7 o'clock. In fact, I think the euro moved up a bit at 7, towards 7 as well. But we had this speaker, and it really pushed the pound up at that point. Had some news later on, but then it just chopped. I mean, this flatters it almost, but you can just see the chop through the day here. So it's really important. Best parts of the day to be trading. Obviously, early on part this morning. The rest of the day has been quite difficult. We've been looking at cable for hours, thinking what might become. Anyway, let's have a look at the dailies and see what might be coming. Indeed, we've got, so we're still in this upward trend here, in fact, but got quite messy the last couple of days. I mean, we've been consolidating downwards over the last week, effectively. Yesterday really just gave us a doji bar indecision. We've had the rally up, but that was mainly this morning, although it's just holding up in those levels. Now if we can break these highs here, I mean, as you can see, ball flag sort of pattern, it may run up, and I would be looking back to that sort of 159 area during the week as a possible target sort of area. If however this cannot hold and it does fail, well then really it's looking back for it to come and test the 200 again, maybe break this trend line and see the monthly R1 touch. But at the moment it's erring towards the more bullish area. Of course we've got the discussion of possible interest rate increases, but they're way off, I think, but at the moment the markets are taking to it, and it's a bit of news, and that's the reaction that we're seeing. But you can see the sort of price action we've already seen in the lead up to this week, and now we've really got the children on holiday in the UK, and the markets often go very, very quiet. Let's look at the euro. Euro rallied up strong yesterday, came back today. We were looking for a target, a target which has been hit today. That's already been done. Now it really depends how it ends the day here. If we end up pretty much like we are at the moment, it's a bearish harami, and there's the potential for a continuation to the downside there. Certainly got the possibilities. The trend in this sort of medium term is certainly low, certainly to the downside. We've got a trend line running to the downside. We've been putting in lower lows each time. We did come against the price support here. Whether or not this will be properly broken again and a proper close below, we'll see. But I think it really is tomorrow's morning's trading over the Asian session may signal the sort of direction we're going in. Obviously, as we're sort of running into key levels of resistance around where we are at the moment. But any break of that, well, then we're really looking on the dailies for a bit more of a push up, maybe back towards the 2150 and these prior highs here. The 1.12 area, maybe a pivotal level. We've got a few levels through the markets which are quite key, and we've seen the market holding at before the 1.04 sort of area for some reason. Seemed like quite a line in the sand back in March. And we're sort of pretty at a pivotal area where we are now, so it really depends if this market can actually hold up above the levels where it's sitting now, or whether it just switches over. If it just switches over, during the month we could see ourselves, just over the next week or so, could be seeing ourselves running back to those prior lows there. Okay, that's the euro. Looking at the dollar yen, it's a funny one. Don't particularly like trading it a lot of the time, because it's a difficult one to follow. Often it can it's a classic summer trade that's constant. You sit through these big periods of consolidation, and all of a sudden you get a good piece of trend followed by more consolidation, followed by a bit of trend, and maybe some more consolidation where it's sitting. But yesterday's bar really bearish engulfing, key reversal bar there, looked like we was going to see some more downside. May still do that, more downside, sorry, but at the moment we've got a bit of support on that lower band. If we can break that and start breaking down, we'll maybe hit will run down some more, but at the moment it's sort of like almost like a V bottom there. So the question is, will it push up? If it can break this area, seems to be a bit of another, talking about pivotal areas, but this 124.41 area seems we've got lots of resistance levels at that point, and we may just see a break on beyond that. Okay, and finally the Aussie dollar I'll look at. And the Aussie dollar, it's a sickly one. It's broken below that. Obviously, we was talking about the 75 area. It's broken well beyond that now and consolidated beyond. It seems to be consolidating. Has been sort of awkward news or rough news coming out. There's the talking about making some or relaxing the financial situation even more to help stimulate the economy. So there's certainly talk of doing some things, but we see it come down, but not massively here. Now, of course, if we do break out, I mean, this is monthly pivots here. Generally, they contain the price, but if we do see some sort of breakdown here, well, we're sort of having to look at way back to the weeklies, actually monthlies, isn't it, before we start seeing the points of support, and really then possibly these prior highs are the sort of levels we're looking at, prior highs, prior low levels around that 7.7 area. I would have suggested is the next sort of really key level there for the Aussie dollar. But for now, consolidation, breakdown, consolidation, it seems to be the order of the day. As you can see, very, very choppy though. You're not really going anywhere too fast. We're getting days. Let's just look at the sort of the 60-minute, and you just getting these sort of long periods of chop, breakout, chop, and then sort of a move down, a gradual move down. So quite slow, quite awkward market for me to be trading at the moment. I prefer the euro and the pound. We've seen some occasions where the Aussie's setting up better in the mornings. They obviously then I'll trade it, but otherwise I've really got to pick and choose on the Aussie and the dollar yen at the moment. My preferred currencies remain the euro and the pound. Okay, that's it for me. I hope you have a great one. Hope you have a great holiday. If you're off anywhere, I'll speak to you later in the week. Bye for now.